So thank you for coming along today. I know some of you, it's the middle of the night, so thank you for being here. My name's Maya. I'm going to talk briefly about Rito Te Parimata, which is the youth reference group for Office of the Clerk and Parliamentary Service. This group came from the Parliamentary Engagement Strategy, and it focused on engaging with disengaged groups, especially young people. We do have a youth parliament, which happens every 3 years, but we wanted a project that was more consistent and continual to build lasting relationships with young people. We did have a research stage where we spoke with government agencies, community groups, the city council, all that run youth initiatives. And we decided that a year-long pilot of the youth reference group was the best way of achieving this goal. So their first year was in 2021, and we had 8 members from the Wellington region. And then in the second year, 2022, we expanded to all of Aotearoa, New Zealand. The biggest challenge that we had with expanding across the country was communication. It was very difficult to have impromptu meetings with everyone spread out across New Zealand. So they did set up an Instagram chat to keep conversations flowing and check in regularly. And we had to structure the timetable for that year so that we could keep track of when everyone's flights were taking place. There are 2 standout aspects of this program that I want to touch on. The first is that applicants didn't need any prior Parliament knowledge and could therefore apply in any way that they liked. We had some people apply with poems and songs. Some people submitted videos, crosswords. Someone even submitted coding, which was very cool. And the second is that a key value of this program is that co-design is at the core. So while most of the logistics and administrative work is done by the coordinators, myself and another woman called Tamara, decisions are made by the young people, including what they would like their annual project to be. Slide. Speaking of the annual project, so each year the members are tasked with a goal of creating a project with the aim of increasing youth engagement with Parliament. So they use Kantar research to guide their annual project. Kantar is a data analytics company that has conducted research for us into audience engagement with Parliament. The first year, they created a project called Rarapa, Shining a Light on Democracy. And the 2 words that they pulled out of the Kantar research were accessible and relatable. To reach these goals of creating something accessible and relatable, they created a 4-part video series that focused on submissions, petitions, protest, and visiting an electorate and community office. And they used examples of how young people had engaged with Parliament in the past and interviewed them to explain this process. For the second year, they created the Rito Te Parimata Instagram, and they made some reels. The words that they wanted to focus on that year from the Kantar research were concise, trustworthy, and trendy. So they really honed in on that trendy aspect, and they wanted to create more organic content that looked like it had been made by young people for young people. And for that, they focused on removing misconceptions and barriers that they felt prevented young people from engaging. And they tried to make fun videos that were encouraging for future learning. Now, as well as the main project, there have been other professional development and reference opportunities offered throughout the year. So next slide. So as you can see here, there's an array of different things that they've taken part in at Parliament. And there have been some really great outcomes for the members of this program as well. One of the members now works at Parliament, and some of the members have gained graduate positions in government agencies using us as a reference, which has been a great outcome. The second initiative I'm going to quickly touch on is the coordination of free professional learning for public servants. So these are courses that are a chance to learn from and network with experts from across the parliamentary sector. And we organise presenters from Select Committee Services, the House Office, and Policy to Legislation at the bottom there is presented in collaboration with the Parliamentary Council Office. We collect attendee and presenter feedback at the end of every seminar, which has led to a few changes with how the programs are run, such as more time for questions and interactive activities for participants as well. The main challenge we've had is high registration but low attendance, but this was due to the pandemic. Now I'm going to pass over to Troy, who's going to talk about professional development opportunities that we offer for members of Parliament.